Welcome back to Smashing Heads Podcast. This is going to be our recap for Spies, Lies, and Allies, episode 9. I believe right at the mid-season or right over the mid-season point. I'm not sure. My name is Zach, and as always, I'm joined by my wife, Hannah.
Hey, what's up?
Best friend, Jake.
How's everybody doing tonight? We're back to 2.5-hour episodes this week.
What now?
It's a joke that didn't land. Can we restart that?
No.
We just start that from the top.
No.
It's in.
I mean, we've never had 2.5-hour episodes.
It was a joke. They keep changing the time format. All right. Do y'all not get it?
I get it now.
In the moment, you know what's always a good joke is one you have to explain afterwards.
Yeah, good. Well, I can't help it. Y'all are morons and didn't get it.
Well, I believe this
Someone
is...
just gave us a 1-star review because I called y'all morons.
Yeah.
I'm not a moron. I'm just
No,
sick.
you're not, Han. You're really not.
I'm just sick.
You're a top 3.
I'm a type 3
Here's the thing.
type
Somebody
of woman.
probably doesn't know that reference, and every time you
That's fine.
you categorize women into types of 1, 2, and 3.
That's
it's
fine.
a callback that was an inside joke that someone's going to be like, I can't believe you're putting women in boxes, but it's
Yeah.
not that.
Yeah, well.
It's
Listen.
honestly, I don't even remember the origins of half of the stuff we talked about.
I don't either, but I remember recording the episode where Jake got into it and started talking about the types of women, and we were like, "Ooh, you better be careful." And he's like, "No, listen, there's 3 types of women."
3 types of women.
Do you remember what they are?
I do.
I do too.
I invented the algorithm.
There's type 1.
You should sell
There's
that.
type 2, which is the opposite of type 1, and then there's type 3, which is the best type of woman, and that's
Yes.
what Kari is.
Yes.
And then you said that's what I am.
Yes.
I mean, I remember that, but I don't remember what anything is beyond that point as far as traits or characteristics or likes and dislikes. I don't remember if you had anything beyond. Honestly, I just don't remember.
You know, I've been out on a few dates this year, and I could probably update. There are probably 2 more types I could add to it if I actually sat down and like really
Thought about it.
thought about it.
But then that's going against the whole like, oh, it was in the moment. Like,
Right.
are you gonna patent this?
What are the new types of women?
You gonna write a love guru book
Well, I tell you,
and
I
do a
can't.
book tour?
I can't tell you what the 2 new types are.
Probably 4 and 5.
Yeah, that would be the next. Those are the next 2
Unless
numbers.
you're gonna
in
go
the
0
alpha,
and -1.
the numeric system. And so I would have to explain types 1, 2, and 3 all over again to get into 4 and 5. And I don't think we have time for that.
Also, I feel like if you did that, there'd be some continuity issues with the first go around.
Yeah, our goal tonight is to have a 5-minute open.
Is it?
I
Why
thought it was
not?
15.
Why not?
No.
We always do 15.
It's usually about 10 to 12. Last week's was real
It
long.
was like 20, wasn't it?
It was close to it. It was.
I don't
It
remember
was very.
last
I
week.
gotta be honest with you guys. Last week's open was very scattered. I wasn't happy with it. Normally, there's a purpose behind it, right? Like we get into said topic, and we just go, we just flow, and those are the best kind of conversations. And
Nice and slow.
to me, that one had 0 flow last week, and I take the blame for that. That's on me.
Because you weren't here the week before.
I wasn't here, so I came in hot and bothered. I came in hot, and so
you weren't bothered?
I was like Han's favorite artist, Andy Mineo, coming in hot, you know. So
I'm
okay.
still surprised at how popular that song is.
that song sucks, man.
Yeah.
That's a bad song. I'd rather listen to Grits singing "My Life Be Like Ooh."
That is a better song.
Ooh,
No, that's a better song.
Yeah.
That's a better song.
I remember when the youth group used to blast that song
That
on
song
constant
sucks.
repeat, and I was like, make it stop.
Which one?
That Grit song.
That Grit song came out when I was like 11.
I know, but when I was in the youth group, they would play it all the freaking time.
That song, coming in hot. It just sucks.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Kim
Coming
Kardashian
in hot.
posted it.
Yeah, well,
And she's the epitome of great taste.
Oh, she helped make it go big. The thing is about that song, I understand why it's so popular. Because it's a good song for a TikTok.
And TikTok was not God's mistake to technology or anything like that.
I bet you Jeremiah likes that song, Mr. We Left It All on the Field.
He didn't say field. That was the
No,
problem.
Well, he did it the first time.
You
Okay.
said he didn't say field.
I know.
He said
It's
table.
it's the generic athlete response.
Yeah.
We left it all on the field. You weren't even on a field, my guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get into all that in a minute because it's that elimination had a lot of things
You going out hot with that one.
You know what? I told Hannah. I guess we're jumping ahead a little bit. I was like, do you think that's why they didn't stay together? Is because they lost?
I said absolutely because
She's got a new boyfriend now.
When they hopped off that plane, she broke up with him and she looked at him and she said, I'm a champion and you're a loser and I can't be with no loser. I got to be with another winner. So because you lost that elimination, we ain't together. And she went and found herself a new man.
Well, he's not a challenge winner either. He's never been on the show.
So he's not a challenge loser. He didn't lose anything in the challenge.
I mean,
I'm not saying
then I'm on the same page. So is Jake.
Exactly. No, I'm not saying Jeremiah's a loser. I'm saying part of the joke. You know, when it's a good joke,
when you gotta explain
it's a good joke if you have to explain it.
Yeah. Right there. Yeah, that's good, Han.
So we're not going to be able to record next Wednesday. We'll have to do it because Hannah.
You and I will be in out of town.
Well, not then. We leave Thursday
Wednesday.
morning. No.
We'll be out of town Wednesday. We're going out of town and
But we
then
can-
flying out first thing the next morning.
Yeah.
But we can record like
That following night,
Thursday night. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but it'll be
Remote.
remote because we'll be in a different state, and then like 2 days later,
We'll be
You'll
in
be
the
there.
same state,
So
but it
then
will
the
not
next-
be Tennessee.
yeah. Guess what it is? Which I'm pretty sure we've already said a bunch of times.
We've
Yeah,
said
hold
several
on. Give
times.
them a second to guess. Incorrect.
What'd they
I
say?
thought we were going to do the Dora the Explorer thing.
They said
Rhode
Wyoming.
Island. Wyoming's close. Like
Yeah, Wyoming's
we can
really
actually
close.
drive to Wyoming. It's only like an hour and a half
I
away.
bet Wyoming's pretty.
Yeah.
A lot of
bottom,
plains, right?
Yeah.
the left side, far left side
Here
of
we go. We're
Wyoming is
getting
pretty.
political.
Yeah.
Great.
The far left side of Wyoming is
Yeah,
pretty.
the far left militias in Wyoming.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Jackson Hole, Wyoming is where like a lot of famous people go.
Kanye West lived there.
I wasn't going to go that way. I was going to say Jeff Fisher lives in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Oh yeah, Titan's great.
Well, Titan's
Fisher.
average.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Though it will be
Probably.
right? Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So we'll be there, and I think we're gonna record some other stuff while we're there. I don't know. I bought a mic for us to do that, and so other than that, if you're in below Wyoming and you have suggestions for stuff for us to do,
Is it below?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah. Let us know because we'll be there next week. We'll be there for.
A week.
Yeah, I mean, Hannah and I will be there for a week. Jake's there for like 4 or 5 days.
Yes.
But then we all fly back together. So, let's get into episode 3.
Here we go.
Not 3. I don't know why I said 3. I'm
9.
looking at 9.
3 times 3.
Yeah, it's you know, and you know what?
It's 3 squared,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's right, Han.
You've been working on your math.
Actually, I have. I've been literally playing a game that is math to try and up my
You
math.
ever play the game math?
No,
I used to play Math Munchers in school all the time.
I like them old computer elementary school games.
Yeah. So we get to this the beginning of this episode, and Priscilla made the move. We talked about all that last week, and now Josh is afraid that he's going to be targeted because of that, because she picked him as her partner, and I don't know how much of. I mean, I guess so, but ultimately, like, that didn't even come into play, like, in this episode.
No, because I think what it felt like was, like, after the first 10 or 15 minutes, it seemed like everybody forgot about them.
Yeah.
Y'all keep talking. I think my storage has run out on my phone, so I have to go get my laptop.
Okay.
That's where I took my note. Y'all keep going.
Or it's
This is
just
fine.
not synced properly or
That's
something.
probably it. You're
Yeah.
the tech guy, but let me go grab my
Yeah.
laptop.
Okay.
Y'all keep this rolling.
Okay, well, that happened, and then,
Did you, while we're talking about Priscilla,
okay.
Tori had mentioned how she's like, I don't blame her for the move
Yeah.
that she pulled because it was going to happen eventually. She just kind of jumped the gun. Tori was talking to like a group of people. I don't remember who it was, but she said she threw a bow in the plan.
Bone.
a bone in the plan.
Yeah.
And then she paused and she said wrench.
Yeah.
And then she said throw a bone in the wrench.
Yeah. I mean,
this is like classic Nelson content that we're not getting from Nelson, but we're getting from other people.
yeah, we're not getting anything like Nelson. Nelson sucks at confessionals this season. Jake, how did you feel about Tori asking if it was a bone or a wrench that you throw into a plan?
Yeah, well, Zach, she got fantasy points for that, but going back to Nelson, it felt like he had heard that we were, really ragging on him. You in particular, Zach, it's really bothered you this season. We're ragging on him for his goofiness, almost intentionally, but it felt like he wanted to be a little more serious this week.
But that doesn't help. He's not known. That's not what you want him for.
You don't like it either way.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need to plug it up?
Yeah, it's about to die.
Great. I'm glad we're
I'm
ready
like,
to go.
this is happening
Yeah.
as soon as we start.
Yeah.
Y'all got to plug in anywhere? We'll make it work. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let me sit down. Oh, no. You can. Oh, you don't like that. Did you stop it? Are we still recording? This is fine. Here, I'm up and running right here. I got 36% battery.
You're fine then.
I'll just turn the brightness down. Well,
Yeah.
You know these Macs, like, they'll say 31% battery and then it's dead 3 minutes later. It just shuts off.
Close out all of the programs you have running. The more stuff you have running, the more CPU it uses, and the more like it taxes your computer.
Jake, my MacBook stays alive for like a week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not everybody's batteries are equal, okay? So.
Well, Josh then talks with Ashley about how he thinks Corey's the head honcho of the, quote, other side, which is like the rookies and all that stuff, which, I mean, until this episode, we didn't really see anything about that. I mean, right?
I don't know. I thought I remembered seeing Corey kind of buddy with some of the...
But they weren't having like meetings and he's like, here's our strategy. This is what we're like. It wasn't anything
No.
like that. It wasn't like they were like, we're looking to Corey for our directions.
No, but I think Corey was being really nice to the rookies in hopes of if they were to vote in a veteran, he would not be one of them. And he could like count on them to vote, kind of alongside with him. And so that's why Josh was like, let's plot against Corey.
I mean, Josh has never been one for like strongly thought out decision making.
But you can't fault it. Like, this man goes to bat for his friends harder than anyone on this planet, I think.
I mean, I don't know if it's that much. I mean, yeah, that's Josh's. Like, if you had to like break Josh down to two parts, it's overly emotional and then
Loyal to a fault.
Yeah, to a fault.
You remember, I think if you could apply a song to Josh, that song by Say Anything, I walk through hell for you.
Just like that.
That is it, yeah.
That's Josh. That's his song. When he starts breaking down and getting
that's
emotional.
Max Bemis who's singing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's him.
Did you go with me to see them once?
No, I don't like going to concerts.
Well, I mean, this was when I was in high school, so you were still going back then. It was like them and Me Without You and a couple other bands. I think Pierce the Veil was there as an opener because they used to be called Before Today, and then no one knew. Like, Pierce the Veil's playing, and like, who's that? And now they're really big, which I don't like them, but
I'd walk through hell for you.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Let it burn right through my shoes. These souls are useless without you. Through hell.
yeah.
I like that we're getting a whole song segment.
Let the torture ring ensue. My soul is useless without. He goes up. Yeah.
Well, not all
Keep
the time.
going,
It's
keep
only-
going,
it's
keep
only, like,
going.
at the end.
Okay, that's what he ends with.
Yeah. That's one of those bands that first like debut album, like top to bottom, like perfect when it came out, and I still think it's really good. But everything after that is just like, who cares? And I went back and listened to them recently, and it was just like, there's nothing crazy there.
I thought you were going to say you went back and risked it recently.
Yeah, I did.
He's really been taking some risks.
Corey and Nelson then get together and break down the 3 crews of the house, I guess. And it's like their group, and then Devin's group, which is like CT and Ed, which I didn't know Ed was in their group.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And then the Big Brother alliance, which I mean we all kind of knew that was there. Although with Fessy gone, like I didn't. Who knows? Again, Corey and Nelson aren't much strategy players either.
No, not really. And then Devin, we cut, and it's Devin with Corey.
You cut it?
Yeah, I did. I did the editing for this episode, so if it's extra good, you're welcome. Devin was telling Corey how he wants to see non-champ vets in the final and win the final.
Yeah.
Which is
the veterans,
contradictory to the quote-unquote crew that Corey thinks Devin has.
Devin still, his number one was, he said, the veterans are the first part, but
yeah.
I want a non-winning vet to win this season.
So when it comes down to it,
yeah,
he wants CT to not be in the final.
Yeah, also, like, if CT's not in the final, that gives Devin a much better chance.
Yeah.
Gives everyone a much better
exactly.
chance.
People who have been to finals and have won finals, I don't know what the odds are on that, like how many like repeat, what the percentage would be to repeat if you've already won a final. But I mean obviously Bananas is like an outlier in that, but you know, CT's like a 4-time champ now. Ashley's a 2-time champ.
How many times has Wes won?
Darrell is won 4. Wes is at least once. Has he won more than once? Like overall?
He's won at least twice.
I just can't remember off the top of my head. Because he's one of those guys that took like long periods off.
But he's been in several finals.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like it's just, you know, like I think Kyle's in like his 7th season in a row right now. And, you know, some of those people.
Boy, working.
He's working for that baby.
It's his job. This is his job. So we get to the daily, and it's called Bombshell Battle, which, by the way, this is the type of dailies they need to do.
That's a fun one.
And you know what? All they needed was a big hole of mud and some rope and some soccer balls that they spray painted. They didn't have to rent a helicopter or a yacht for $500,000 or whatever.
They need walkie-talkies.
No.
This was
like
probably
codes.
the cheapest daily we've had all season.
Unnecessary technology just to show off, like the little diving jet things from last week. Like, it's literally, you have to wrestle and get dirty and collect in a certain amount of time.
This is classic challenge.
Yeah.
But like my note on this daily was, this is the physical daily we've been waiting on.
It's just like, it's not hard. Like, you know what? That reminds me, I'm going to bring up a quote from actually Johnny Bananas. He did an interview with E! Online this week.
Oh, dang. I thought you were going to say he did an interview with us.
He didn't. I think you would know about that.
Right.
I have
we
emailed
interviewed him
before.
What'd he say?
He didn't. He never said anything. So by Hannah's logic, we're still good to go because he has not
rejected us.
So he just has some criticism for
there's a chance he's cheated on us.
That's very he's got some criticisms of the like current season, and he's like, you know, I know a lot of these producers and whatever, but he said, quote, with that being said, I have seen as of late that the showing is going in somewhat of a concerning direction. I feel like sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And what has always made the challenge so incredible is its simplicity. You don't need all the bells and whistles and gimmicks. And it's like, yeah, that's what made All Star so fun. The competition level wasn't nearly as crazy, but it's just like, it's in one, simple format, but 2, you had entertaining people.
Yeah, it was very entertaining.
And that was the other thing here is like, oh, well, when there's 17 rookies from all around the world, you have to, you know, put a lot of backstory and stuff in.
I will say we've had a pretty good rookie crop this season.
We have, but his other thing in this, I'm not going to read the whole interview. It's on E! Online.
Oh,
Bananas tweeted it too. But his other thing was, like, they should bring back some of these, like, past formats, like, do another Inferno season or do another Rivals or X's or things like that. And he's like, nah, I wouldn't want to be on a Nexus season like anytime soon because he was acknowledging what happened with him and Morgan. But beyond that, like think about like the Infernos where it's like the good guys versus the bad for the kids.
Right.
Yeah, like we haven't had a season like that since what 2004, 2005, something like that.
Yeah, and just in general, Rivals is a perfect formula, right?
There's a reason it works.
Exes is a perfect formula.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other ones off the top of my head, but the whole, the foundation of all these is that it's simple.
Yeah.
There's nothing crazy.
You don't have to explain it. Like
there's no changing the game halfway through.
No.
Right?
No, if you think of it, if you brought someone new into this season, they'd be like, okay, what's Spies, Lies, and Allies? And you're like, well, it's like kind of an espionage type thing where
it's not.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
But with exes, you can be like, oh, these people dated, they don't anymore. Now they have to be partners.
Yeah.
Or like rivals, like they hate each other from past. Like
which is just naturally watchable.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and especially not even like looking at the format, just the way the dailies and the eliminations are set up. We just finished watching through Rivals 2, and it was
almost perfect season.
It was an almost perfect season. So it was so entertaining, and it was so simple in almost every way that you didn't have to do a lot to suck the viewers in.
Even the final, like, even though it was like we were making like loops, like it was a good final. And probably the grossest food challenge on a final we've had. But like,
yeah, it was great to watch.
Yeah, it's just like it's a reason why we all like kind of universally. I haven't heard anyone who watched All Stars that was a fan of the challenge that didn't come in maybe within like the last 2 years.
Don't we have a patron that just refuses to watch it?
He just didn't want to watch it when it came out. I think he's watched it since then. But
what do you think?
What do I think?
No, I'm asking him.
Well,
he can't answer.
We can't hear him.
Drop in the comments. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, Ryan, drop in the comments. Yeah, he just. I think it was just there's a lot of other stuff airing at the same time, or like he just had a baby, and so like there's a lot of other things going on.
Yeah, kids come before the challenge.
You actually brought up something that we didn't do.
We forgot to do.
Yeah, that's
we
what I was
forgot to do. We just missed it. The top one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, hey, get your recorder ready. Your screen something.
No, your recorder. Your little plastic recorder.
All right, here we go. Is it Veron?
It's Veronica.
Ooh.
Veron?
Yeah, because so the name on Patreon is a little weird. It's Veron+on.
I see what he's saying there.
It's a girl. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
It's Veronica. So
wow, I am destroying. I am so sorry.
Well,
I hope she's not recording this.
Well, whatever they messaged me said it's a play on that they talk a lot, and so it's like Veron and on and on. And
look, I know boys named Ashley.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm just
I
saying,
know girls named Logan.
There are such names that are unisex.
Yeah,
okay? It's okay. It's not offensive.
But no. When they joined our Slack group, it didn't say this. It just said Veronica.
Yeah.
So
okay,
you want to take that from the top?
So should I say Veronica?
I guess
Yes.
That's her name. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Veronica, how you doing tonight?
Do you want to do the Veron and on?
Yeah. Here we go. Hey, Veron and on and on and on. How you doing?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's as good as that's going to get, though.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, this daily, not hard. They run down. Ed's kind of got the format figured out. He throws all of his balls right away towards their rope.
And then everybody else starts to see that.
It's smart because that way you're not having to run as far. And like, unless you're just going to be a jerk, you're not going to like kick someone's ball as far away as you can. Which that's not a bad strategy. It's not a bad strategy.
Somebody would have done
It's
that.
just grab every other color
and
and just throw it.
What you should do is go for throwing all your balls, and then when someone runs back, just grab one of theirs and just launch it, and then they won't see who did it, and then just go from there. And that we didn't see that happen as far as what they showed us, but that's the play.
That would have been really funny.
I mean, I didn't write down like what all happened in round 1. I wrote the people who made it to round 2 were Emmanuel and Casey, Devin and Amber, Logan and Nani, Ed and Ashley, and then Nelson and Big T. And then Devin, Amber, and Emmanuel and Casey did not make it to round 3. But
after round 1, Josh got really mad, and then Corey got in his face, and security had to come out and separate them.
So the reason, and I did skip over that in my notes, was that Josh got the last silver ball in round 1, and he just assumed that they were going to just let him like go up because like, oh, we're cool with each other. And it's like, no, like they all want to for sure be safe too. And then Corey gets it and he throws it to Jeremiah, and that's what sets off a chain reaction for the rest of the episode. So that was my fault for skipping over that. But that happened, and then Kyle does the same thing, but just with Ed, because he's like, I might as well.
Kyle gets it from Jeremiah somehow, and then he tosses it to Ed.
Yeah, because he's like, Ed's gnarly, which is new information to us.
Yeah,
but
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so then that's when Corey starts going off at Josh, and then they kind of get into it.
Corey said, like, as an explanation, he said that he had said he wanted to win this one.
Yeah.
And he was like, I wanted to win too. And Josh is like, but you guys don't have my back, la-di-da-di-da. And I was like, okay, well, I understand both sides of it. I understand why Corey's upset, because he wanted to win that daily to guarantee their safety, but also so that, you know, they'd get into the next round. If they win overall, they're the new power partners, and they would get to decide ultimately who goes into elimination. But I also understand why Josh was upset, because, like, it's one thing for Corey to throw the ball to somebody else, but to throw it to Jeremiah, who's a rookie. Even Nelson said that Corey was not doing himself any favors.
Yeah, but also Josh is delusional if he thinks that Kyle, CT, Corey, Jeremiah, and there's somebody else down there, we're just going to let him win the last spot to go into the next round. And so throwing it to Jeremiah wasn't the smartest, because it does put a target on you, but I don't know. It ultimately, like, it came down to Nelson, Ed, and Logan.
That's it.
And, like, what I didn't understand in that is, like, Nelson had the ball for a while, and then Ed kind of took it from him, and they were wrestling a little bit. And then Logan grabs it, and he's like, guys, I'm the closest to my station. He's like, let's make a deal. And it's like, well, he can't protect you.
He said, let me have this, let me win, and I promise you're safe. I promise to keep you safe.
Yeah, which he can't do that, because they could be the house vote. He could
exactly.
The only thing he could do is not throw them in
himself
as the secondary thing, but they very well could have been the house vote. And so
Ed immediately agreed. But Nelson, it took him a minute, and then finally he like let go, and then Ed like
suplexed Ed.
Man,
well,
yeah.
Ed like quote unquote tackled him to make it look like they were fighting each other so that Logan could climb up the rope.
I just don't.
Didn't Nelson take Ed down?
Yeah, no, he did. He like grabbed him from behind and suplexed
it was Nelson
him.
That took
I
Ed
thought
down.
Ed was the one that took him
No,
down.
it was Nelson, and that's what was so like confusing, is like Logan didn't really have any power except that he was the closest to his thing.
See, I don't think Ed really fell in line with it.
I think Ed was like, he's wanting to make a deal, but like he didn't agree to it.
Nelson flat out agreed to
Nelson's
it.
like, all right, sounds good, and then he suplexed Ed, and like it's just like, why Logan one has no like track record as far as like, oh, you can trust me. Like, I'm not saying he's not a trustworthy person, but you just don't have that relationship. And then 2, he literally can't save you if you're the house vote.
Yeah, I know. And I don't
like
think...
they didn't think that through.
But the thing was, when Ed and Nelson were fighting for that last ball, it was like they couldn't even really fight because they were so tired.
3 rounds.
Nelson kept having to bend over and catch his breath. And so I think because they were so exhausted, they weren't thinking that far ahead.
Well, you know what? You could say Nelson's not thinking a lot of times. I'm not sure on Ed yet. I don't have a full read on him, just because we've had limited interaction. I didn't watch. Did you watch The Circle? Either of you?
No. Mikey watched it.
He
and
did.
I think he wanted me to watch it so that we could all like talk about it, but I never got around to it.
Y'all know Mikey.
Yeah, probably a lot of people listening to this podcast do know Mikey. So Logan and Nany win. Just a gimme. I mean, they worked to get to the 3rd round, but like again, Logan just manipulated him with no leverage. He had the same amount of leverage they both did. And so, by the way, Nelson loses another daily. I don't know. It got brought up on Twitter.
It's like 42, 43 straight daily, something like that.
Yeah, someone brought it up on Twitter with us that I think it was Gabriel or Gilberto. Oh yeah, it was Gilberto. Sorry, not Gabriel. That's my fault. Yeah, Nelson has lost 42 consecutive dailies. And
wow.
Now he's great in eliminations. We've talked underrated in eliminations. You don't want to go against him.
But our boy ain't a daily winner.
He is such a one-sided player. I didn't even think about it. I was like, he was this close to breaking that streak tonight.
Yeah.
He would have won if possibly. He was one of the last 3. And then he decided, you know what, Logan made a good call. Let me tackle Ed. And so he hasn't won since the car mission on Vendettas.
Yeah.
Before we started recording. He has not won a daily since we started this podcast. That's crazy because he's been on every season, I think.
Yeah. Well,
that feels like such a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's been over 3 years.
What did he say tonight during the elimination? It was in a confessional. He said something along the lines of, you know what they say about eliminations. You never know what can happen.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
That's about as good of a quote we've gotten out of him this season.
But who said that?
TJ.
Everybody?
Yeah. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
After all,
y'all know what they say about macaroni? It's got cheese.
I'd say
it's
almost
wet.
exclusive. Oh, good Lord!
What kind of mac and cheese are you eating? My God, let that thing drip. Wait, what kind of cheese you want on that? Make it run.
Yeah, no.
Make it run.
It doesn't matter. Just as long as it's wet. Yeah.
I had some mac and cheese tonight, and it definitely wasn't dripping.
Yeah. Well,
then you're eating the wrong mac and cheese.
My God.
That's
let it run down my mouth. Stick it in there, Zach.
You want me to do it?
No, I'm playing hand now. I'm doing a hand voiceover.
Well, it sounded exactly like
me.
Yeah.
No, I eat my mac and cheese with a spoon because I like it to be soupy.
This is all just a lie.
It's not.
Josh wants to throw in Corey and Ashley.
Put a little more water in it. Sorry. They just keep coming.
Can I get some extra Velveeta?
No, that's backwards.
Yeah, that's not a joke.
No.
Also, that would thicken it up.
That would thicken it up. You like yours running.
I do. You know, the trick is to use evaporated milk.
Oh, God.
All right, well, Josh wants to throw in Corey, and that freaks Ashley out to the point where she, kind of comes apart in their little, bunk room or whatever.
Well, this is the second time in, a 5-minute time span that we've seen her crying, because as soon as Logan won the daily for him and Nany, she walked away, audibly crying.
You know what? I can relate, honestly, to her frustrations to losing. We play tennis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's the same as where you're going with this.
Well, we played last week, and I was ready to just sell all my stuff.
I know.
But I'm convinced that Zach in particular here, every now and then, he doesn't do it all the time because somebody'd catch him. But every now and then he's got the blood of Pete Sampras locked away in his freezer downstairs, and he just grabs a swig.
In the freezer?
Every couple of times.
Do you know what liquids do in the freezer? You can't swig them.
All right, well, you crunch that thing down, and it's like a popsicle.
Chew on some ice.
Yeah, and you just come out there, and you start doing stuff you don't do other nights. It's bizarre. And so, on those nights, y'all can $40, y'all can take it all. My shoes, my racket.
I told our other friends, just buy it off of them, so shut up.
Yeah.
Which that's like a $200 racket. You're selling with shoes and a backpack.
I'm convinced there's some sketchy stuff going on behind the scenes that I can't see.
Yeah, you've been convinced of that since we were 13, and anything that's ever been a thing that's competitive.
Y'all wait. Y'all know who Bungie is.
Yeah, I do. And most of the people listening probably don't understand what that is.
I don't.
they made Halo 1, 2, and 3. And so
yes, I've heard you over the television.
Telephone,
yes.
Over the television when you guys played Halo.
No, because we haven't played Halo. They stopped after Halo 3, which was 2007. And
You
so,
weren't even born yet.
You're right, I wasn't.
So that we probably stopped playing Halo 3 in like 2011.
Yeah.
Then what was the game? Destiny.
I got
Here's the thing.
You guys were-
It's like a Mad Lib. You take out the word, you throw in any other word, and he's gonna be upset and convinced that they're coming after him. It's Rocket League.
They can do that stuff.
It's Call of Duty when we play Call of Duty. It'd be freaking Tetris if we played competitive Tetris.
Yeah, what they do is they
they do it.
depower my gun.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
Don't let me snipe someone in the head and them not dying.
Yeah.
I get 2 shots to the leg with a pistol and
Rocket
I'm
League.
dead. I'm the one that's dead.
I had a video that his stepbrother, who we don't see anymore,
The one that disappeared.
Yeah, took of him, where he was playing Def Jam Fight for New York on the original Xbox, which wasn't even plugged up to the internet.
That game is...
And you were like, oh man, they're coming after me right now. He's like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, nothing. It's a game. And just because you're not a professional at it, the world is against you. Here's the thing. If you weren't friends with us and you like hung out with someone, I feel like you might turn into like, guys, the government's coming to get us.
Oh, no, I don't do that. I don't get nothing political here. All right. Yeah, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Yo, you are just in like very niche areas.
Well...
You're a conspiracy theorist that the game developers are specifically out to get you.
They jump in there and watch, and I swear they just pick.
You've said this
And
about
it's
Peggle
you
with
only.
PopCap, the developer of Peggle. Yeah.
They all do
Oh my
it.
God, Peggle!
It's like a circle of game devs. It just
Yeah.
they just get together. Hey, we getting tonight, y'all.
No, it's like they follow you around.
They have pegged me since 2005, hand.
And they follow you around everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I don't know if pegged means the same thing as what you think anymore.
So
But it's
weird stuff happens, man. Like
what happens about in real life though, like when it's like basketball or football or tennis. Are they?
There's no game developers there.
I guess it's just God at that point.
No, that's maybe I get a little unreasonable there. I've caught myself saying stuff like they got a remote control in this ball or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah. So that's like this, like it's
the
just
shot feels pure, but it won't go in.
yeah. But this has like been my life for at least the last since Halo 2.
Yeah.
Since we started playing online games in Halo 2, it's so what year? 2005, 2004.
I was 15.
Yeah.
14.
Well, half of your life you've been convinced that there's people out to get you.
And it's been my life since I married into it.
Yeah. And it's just been me sitting on the other side of a headset listening to him yell about a development company who doesn't even know he exists.
Oh no,
they
they know.
know.
Yeah,
They know.
exactly.
I know.
They're waiting.
They keep coming back.
They got alarms set. When you come online, they're like,
Like,
it's
oh,
time,
he's
it's time
there.
to go.
He's there. Let's go get
At this
him.
point, they know the response they're going to get. They know they're going to get a rise, and it's like
And
like
you're
when
still going to give it to him?
It's like every friend circle has that one friend that you constantly pick on because you know you're getting a rise out of them, right? Y'all did it to me. I was that kid back in the day.
You've always been.
I was that kid.
I didn't
and
do
I'd
it
always
to
get,
you.
We only do it because we like you so much. Listen, y'all did it because y'all knew I'd lose my mind. The game devs do it
Yeah, there we go.
because they know. They always know.
If you know that they know they're only trying to get a rise out of you, why do you give them what they want?
I don't know. Do something else with your life, man. Get out of your mom's basement, okay? Go do something.
I mean, if they're
I'm
a
asking
game
you.
developer, they're not living with their mom in their basement.
They're living in a really nice place.
Yeah, well, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not crazy, okay?
you know what? It's always the really sane people that have to be like, guys, listen, I'm not
I'm
crazy.
not crazy.
So we get a night out.
No, we get a pool party.
You did. Let me finish. But it was only at the pool bar.
So
And
it's not really a night out.
I mean, it was outside of the house.
It's a night outside.
Did you see that Priscilla had a septum piercing all of a sudden? which I'm pretty sure is fake because she has not had one for the first 8 weeks.
Zach lost his mind over it. He's like, I can't believe this.
You know, I'm with Han on this. You do, like, when we watch this together, you'll spot something and it sends you into a whirlwind.
I never even noticed.
No,
He's
no.
like, she's got a septum piercing.
I said, I was like, when did she get a septum piercing? And Han was like, she's probably had it the whole time. And I was like, there's no way. We haven't seen it.
But you know how I bet he said it? When's she get a septum piercing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's probably had it the whole time, as in, like, the actual piercing hole. She just hasn't worn the actual piercing.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we would have seen it. And I was like, yeah, I know, but she could have just put it in for the
you just
night
contradicted yourself. Yeah, I know, but
Contradicted.
yeah, I know she hasn't been wearing the ring, but she could have just put the ring in for the pool
I told
party.
her there's fake ones, and then there are, and they're magnetic, and they have ones that just clip in, but they're also magnetic ones. So
That thing gotta hurt when you pull it out.
Septum piercings?
Yeah.
Probably not. It's probably because your nose is the same material as your ears.
that
It's all
thing's
cartilage.
Thick right there, though.
But it's all cartilage. So
yeah,
like,
let me rip one out of your nose then and see how it makes
I don't
you
have a
feel.
nose piercing, but like
don't have one nose.
I have several piercings
No
in
one
my
knows.
ears, and I don't feel it when I pull them out or put them in.
Mm-hmm.
It's numb.
Logan wants Corey and Bettina to go against Jeremiah and Amber, and by the way, he got exactly what he wanted.
He did. Nani told him it was a good idea.
You know, probably as much camera time as Logan has gotten all season,
Yeah,
and I couldn't care less.
I know, and that's what I told him. Like, he's still just like, it's boring still.
Speak up, my guy.
Yeah.
Talk louder.
So CT wants Corey to go in. Ashley does too because they don't trust like the group that he's aligning himself with. So again, the deliberations. Corey basically just starts off as like, "Hey, I've always been honest in 9 seasons. I don't double cross anybody," and just trying to break down Ashley's character.
Well, Logan actually opened up.
Oh yeah,
Nominations.
well, I mean TJ technically
But
opened
I
up
know,
for the video.
but Logan was
right.
the first one to pipe up, and he officially announced to the entire house that Mr. Ed and Mr. Nelson were safe tonight.
Do you know what Mr. Ed? Do you think he knows what Mr. Ed is? Do you know what Mr. Ed is?
Yeah, that's the horse.
Yeah. Do you know what Mr. Ed is?
No.
Yeah. I mean, it was a TV show from like the 50s.
Horse talks, yeah.
You know how they did it?
They put peanut butter.
They
up
put
in
peanut
his
butter
nose.
under his gums so he would constantly be flapping his
flapping, yeah.
lips. And then they just had a guy in a studio be like, "Hey, Wilbur."
Hi there, Wilbur.
Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure was the guy's name.
Let's hear your best, Mr. Ed.
I don't know. Hi there, Wilbur. Hi there, Wilbur.
No, that wasn't.
I know. I have a sore throat.
That was the reason.
That's a lot of it.
Not the fact that you've never heard of it or seen it before.
It's the
I
sore
mean,
throat.
I never really watched it. I just remember it being on like Nick at Night or something back in the day.
I remember the scene from Dr. Dolittle.
Okay.
Yeah, they were watching it
Yeah.
because they were trying to break it down to
Yeah.
the dot. This is what's happening. You're not hearing them
With
talk.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an underrated movie. Eddie
I
Murphy
like
had
that
some
movie.
bangers back in the
He
day.
also has
Yeah.
some really bad movies.
Yeah.
But that Dr. Dolittle was a good movie.
Yeah, he does that, and then Corey again kind of attacks Ashley. They go back and forth for a while. Priscilla gets involved in it because she just speaks up. She's like, first of all, like, don't drag me into this. I just told Nelson that, like, hey, I'm gonna be changing partners if I do this move, which she did. And because Ashley was trying to say Corey knew all this all along, which he's like, I found out at the elimination. And so it wasn't like a big conspiracy thing.
Well, Corey and Nelson were trying to throw Ashley under the bus by saying that she's a sneaky little snake and how she like backstabs people and stuff. And she was like, name one time. And the only time anybody could come up with was when she stole the money from Hunter, which was Nelson and Corey's boy.
How you think he's doing?
I don't care.
He had a baby. I don't care.
And doesn't care about babies.
Again,
God.
not really.
Not too for the kids. Ask
Again,
me, Zach.
kids are not babies. Babies are babies. Kids are kids.
Yeah.
I like kids.
If we said that, we'd go to jail.
If you're for the kids, you're for the babies.
Babies don't know what we're saying. Anyway, I don't blame Ashley for taking the money from Hunter because he was an awful person to her.
Yeah.
And
I would argue, Han, that you would take the money from Zach.
yeah,
I don't blame Ashley in that situation.
for 2 reasons. One, it's the same money. Two,
It's actually all your money.
It's actually all my money.
Just
What's
like this-
mine is mine, and what's his is mine.
Whose house is this?
My house.
Uh-oh.
He pays for it, but it's my house.
So
Y'all got the deed?
Yeah.
Whose name's on it?
Mine.
mine.
And his name is on the loan. I'm not responsible for paying for it.
So they did bring out that, which I don't really remember, on the season where Ashley ended up winning and, through like double cross Hunter, which she's like, that's the only person I've ever done anything like that to.
Yeah, and she's not
like, that was the person I hated the most in the world. And apparently Amanda threw herself in for something for Ashley. I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was when her and Zach.
Was that season?
I think it had. Yeah,
okay.
I believe it was.
Where they just like did refuse
that
to.
makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Because Zach wanted to throw in Ashley and Amanda wouldn't do it, so
Amanda wanted to throw in Bananas and Tony.
Okay.
And Zach didn't want
And
Bananas.
then Amanda
Tony.
got like a black eye out of that elimination.
Yeah, y'all remember that Hunter and Ashley actually like were a thing on their first season together? That's what's weird about the whole deal.
No,
Not really, but Ashley hooked up with a lot of people early on.
You're right.
I remember Ashley on the first season. Ashley hooked up with Jamie, Cara Maria's cousin,
Yeah,
Which was a weird one.
in a bathroom.
And a lot of people watched.
Yeah, they looked in through the window.
So apparently Ashley sent Amanda a $500 gift card after winning all the money. And that was a real big point of, like, Nelson did not like that was the only thing that happened.
Why did Nelson bring that up?
that is right in line with Nelson's logic.
Yeah.
If we're being totally honest here.
And I felt like he started getting a little personal in this, which, Nelson and Ashley up until like week 2 of this season were like a thing, kind of. Cause like he started bringing that up and she's like, yeah, well, at least I did something for her.
I mean,
and then he like yelled at her. He's like, you were a totally different person outside of this game.
if I did my math right just now, $500 compared to $1 million is like 0.05%.
But here's the thing.
She didn't have to do anything.
She didn't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
She didn't have to do anything.
I mean, she didn't take home $1 million. Like, you don't get to take home that much.
Where do you think she get that gift card to? Barnes and Noble or something?
I don't know. It could have been just like a Visa gift card.
I hope it was something very specific, and it was like, congratulations, here's $500.
Dave & Buster's.
To Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Not Popeyes. Popeyes. It's the off-brand.
It's that's just was like that was a hill that Nelson died on, and so it ended up being Cory and Bettina. I think we kind of knew that was coming, and then we had like Cory get into it with Kyle afterwards, and he was just like, I don't even remember you were watching it whenever you got over here because you didn't get to finish it yet, and like. He just went after Kyle about it, and Kyle's like, "Shut up, Cory!"
Oh, shut up, Cory!
Yeah, and
Yeah, because like Cory somehow just assumed that Kyle voted for him.
and he's like, "You don't know who I voted for."
Yeah.
I didn't know why you'd hear it out of a cartoon. It was so funny.
That was just kind of
Y'all
weird.
didn't think that was funny?
Yeah, I did.
I
And
just-
then we have a quote from Devin telling a group
I
of
don't
people.
have a quote from Devin.
He's right before the Kyle and Cory thing because he was sitting in the same spot. He said, "I think Ashley is. I don't like her."
Yeah, but I mean, he had said earlier in the episode that he doesn't trust her.
Yeah.
But yeah, you then kind of later get a cooled off like Cory, and he's sitting with Bettina, and they're kind of talking strategy. And Bettina says he should take Casey, and then she wants to take CT because if they stay together, they're going to be just the pick next week,
Absolutely.
which is true.
Yeah.
And so unless they won, obviously, but that would definitely change a lot of things if that worked out, which obviously it did not work out like that. But we get to the elimination. Logan and Nany, pick Jeremiah and Amber, which they had kind of said they were going to do that anyway. And Logan's reasoning was to keep the love together. And, do you think he was real sad when he found out that they weren't together outside of the show?
I think it hurt Logan more than it hurt Amber B or Jeremiah.
Wait, what hurt Logan?
That they weren't
Amber B and
together
Jeremiah are no longer together.
because he said you got to keep the love together. That's why he put him in elimination.
and they broke up.
No. I don't. It's my only I became a real Amber fan this season.
I like Amber.
I really did. I had a real turn with her. I don't like just how cool she is about going into eliminations. I don't like that.
I don't like how she was.
I can appreciate the confidence, but I just don't like how she's
it's
like,
not,
girl, it's cool.
And Nani voted her in. She said, "Love you, girl."
Because I understand the logic there.
It's to me,
Nani,
it's not even confidence. It's indifference because she's like, oh, who cares? I won last season. Like, it doesn't matter if I go home.
Go for a repeat.
Because that was her thing wanting to go in last week. Because she's like, I already won, so I just want to take this girl out. And it's like, that's stupid. Like,
just
you
because
can win again.
Just because you won last year doesn't mean that you can't lose an elimination.
Yeah, it's short-sighted. And so
now she's going home.
They go in. It's another new elimination called Hanging the Balance.
I told you.
This one was hard.
I said it's gonna be a different elimination every episode.
I'm fine with that.
I said it.
This is a tough elimination. When they first start out, basically you got to carry puzzle pieces across a beam and counterbalance each other, and then you solve the puzzle. But Bettina fell right away, and I was like, oh, not good. But then Amber and Jeremiah fell immediately after that. And so we kind of see that it's going to be tough, and it was hard for anybody to find their center of gravity on this. But then Amber and Jeremiah realized if she squats down super low and like stretches her legs out, that Jeremiah can just like bend over at like a 90-degree angle and kind of balance him. But Devin, I think, pointed out, he's like, his back's going to kill him.
What don't we know about those back issues?
Oh yeah,
buddy.
I can only that'd be so rough. Like supporting not only your weight, someone else's weight, balancing and carrying puzzle pieces, and doing that over and over and over. Which, by the way, at the end of the elimination, Corey said something about 3 hours.
I missed that.
Yeah, they made a comeback because like Corey and Bettina were really far behind.
Yeah. And
then Bettina out of nowhere is like, let's try a different strategy.
She's like, let's stay closer together instead of leaning back.
And then like they crossed their wrists over each other and held each other that way, which was a way smarter way of doing it. So they came back and then ended up winning. And in their post-game interview, Corey said 3 hours and one arm gone.
Yeah. So if that legitimately took 3 hours, that's insane.
I couldn't tell if he was being serious or if it was just like exaggeration.
I mean, we had multiple times where they were saying that like their arms, like they couldn't, like Corey at one point couldn't even close his hands because his forearms were so shot. At one point, Amber's punching her forearms, to try to get more like feeling into them. And so like it wouldn't surprise me if they just like at time like for like 10 minutes at a time just weren't doing anything.
You had to, I just ran this obstacle course a couple weeks ago, and there are a few different obstacles that require, that focus on your upper body. And if you don't get it that first time, you're not getting it the second time. So I can understand there needing to be breaks taken, because if your arms are shot, there's just nothing you can do.
They're shot.
No.
You can't do anything. And so, I would not be surprised if they sat around and just shook those arms out, got the blood flowing again, and, gave it a few.
Yeah, I can't.
And the back stuff.
Because they couldn't do all like
There's
that many takes back to back. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, I don't think any, like, the most insane athlete that's ever been on the show could just, like, really do that. Because it's, like, that's a tough, it doesn't look tough. Mm-hmm. It's deceptively tough to, like, carry those across like that. Because you couldn't, like, walk in, like, single file lines and, like, go down. Like, you had to counterbalance and go side to side and carry the puzzle pieces across your arms.
And on top of that, which one of those guys do you think Jeremiah weighed more than Corey because he's taller?
Probably just because, but Corey looks a little
Thick.
denser. Yeah.
But you got to look at the difference between the two women. Amber is taller, but she's very lean. Bettina is shorter, but she's thicker.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing: how these guys are having to adjust themselves to counteract their partner's weight.
Well, Amber said Jeremiah is 2 of her.
Which is insane.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I don't think that's probably literal, because she's pretty tall, so she's probably weighs more.
But she's very thin.
Yeah, no, I know. But it's it's a tough elimination. The puzzle wasn't hard. Like, the puzzle was like, it was like 8 pieces, and it was all like slivers, and it's the Bioshock symbol, or not Bioshock, or just hazardous material or whatever.
Skull and crossbones.
Definitely was not that.
That's what it was. It was MTV The Challenge.
But Yeah, it's a good win for Corey and Bettina. I mean, when Amber and Jeremiah were the ones that kind of seemed to figure out the process of it, and then they kept showing like Bettina and Corey falling so much, like it didn't seem like there was a chance. And it wasn't like they were using like the same take over and over again from different angles. Like these were like all separate.
Yeah.
They had plenty of footage if they did this for 3 hours. And so one thing we did skip over is in the middle of elimination, Amber asked Jeremiah to kiss her, which that might be a first.
It made me cringe. I didn't like it. I don't like PDA in general, though.
I'm a romantic. I appreciated it.
It made me uncomfortable.
I'd have kissed her.
I bet you would have.
She's pretty.
She's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty
what? You just were thinking about it and repeating it? Yeah. So again, Corey and Bettina win. We get to the end, and typically that's where TJ's like, all right, who are you going to pick? Tori's been abandoned, whatever. And he's like, all right, rejoin the group. And everyone's just like, what? And he's like, you heard me. Go back up. And then he's like, all right, see you later. And then he just leaves, and then the episode ends. And
so Ed no longer has a partner. Tori no longer has a partner. Corey and Bettina are still partners, maybe?
Well, at the end of the episode, they are still partners.
Yeah, I think that would definitely mean... I think it can only go two different ways. Either there's going to be an individual game from here on out.
No partners, or Tori and Ed are partners.
No, I don't think they would have done. If the cliffhanger was that ambiguous and it's like, oh, Tori and Ed are partners, congratulations. That to me that seems like production's trying to save CT. But I don't think it's that, because like even the preview for next week, they're kind of freaking out. I think it's going to be an individual game going forward, or possibly like maybe like a free agent style thing where like you don't know who you're partnered with until like that day.
Oh, fun.
Or
Cutthroat.
No, I mean, kind of. So what I was thinking is like you could do like, all right, well now you guys are like divided down the middle, and there's like
groups.
Team A and Team B, and like you guys are, which would be. I don't think we've ever seen anything like that where you had partners and then it went to like a big team style thing. But I mean, the most likely route is it's just going to be an individual game from here on out.
That makes more sense for the espionage theme.
Yeah.
Spies work alone, typically.
Or honestly, the free agent style would work for that, because like every day you're working with a new person.
I typically lie alone, too.
What now? What'd you say?
That one not land either.
I just didn't hear what you said.
I typically lie alone, too. Well, she said spies are usually alone. It's fine.
I didn't hear
but
her part.
Lie? Like you tell lies alone?
Yeah, I tell them by myself.
Did you pull an Ed where you talk to yourself in a mirror?
Y'all don't ever talk to yourselves, like just thinking out loud kind of thing?
No.
Not in the mirror like that.
No, I don't do it in the mirror, but I definitely like, if I'm at my house and a scenario arises, we talked this morning, right? Me and you,
Yeah.
man. And I did. I like paced back and forth in my living room, and I'm thinking out loud, like, what the heck happened, man? Did this happen? This could have...
I don't do that. I might say like,
what do y'all think?
No, I don't. I definitely don't ask an audience.
Hannah, what do you think?
No, he said y'all. Like, there's multiple.
What do you guys think?
Are you schizophrenic? And like
and
that's
like we don't know
and
it.
that's why you think like there's people out to get you.
No, I'm not schizophrenic.
Isn't that like a symptom of schizophrenia?
I'm not crazy, okay?
Yeah, crazy people are the ones that say that they're not crazy.
It's
Do
always.
y'all think I'm crazy?
No.
Yeah.
No, every once in a blue moon, I will say something like under my breath to myself. It's like if I keep dropping something, or if I get really frustrated that like
you guys seeing this?
no, if I get really frustrated and I can't make my hands or my feet do what I need it to, what my brain is telling it to, like I'll get frustrated and I'll say, "Come on," and like that's it. I don't say, "Oh, what do you think?"
Man, this isn't quite the same.
What should I do?
But like, she's on some medication right now that makes her brain like a little foggy, and she's playing through LA Noire, and which I don't think you ever played that game.
I've watched y'all play it a few times.
It's
Okay, well,
so
she's
fun.
playing through it, and it's like you're solving cases and like reading facial expressions and all that stuff. But there's also like some like action sequences where you have to like do car chases or like gun fights and stuff. Nothing really complicated.
Oh, it's so hard.
It came in one time she was getting her butt beat.
Yeah, Jake, this is there were the one last. It was like last night or the night. It was the night before
played
last.
last night.
And it's like there was like 3 enemies that had guns, and like it's a cover based thing. You just get in cover and then you pop up, shoot them. And honestly, when you hit the left trigger to aim, it like pushes to their center mass. So you just pull the trigger and they're dying. And like she was like almost to like the level that you would like. Thinking,
No, I did not get that. I did not
Jake,
get that bad.
She was like, this is so hard.
Yeah, because
I was like, it's not that
you
hard.
kept saying, "What are you doing? Why did you? What are you doing? Just do this." And I'm like, "No, it's hard. You don't understand. This is hard to do."
And I was like, you're just getting frustrated. I was like, just go into cover. When they pop out, press this and then press this. Like, you'll be done. And you were just like, no, it's so hard.
It is.
Like,
It's
this is
so
the hardest thing
hard.
I've ever done.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
And I was
It's
like,
so hard.
Like, it's not. I was like, you just got to calm down. And then she finally just gave me the controller, and I did it the first try. Which I get it. I play video games more than she does. I understand that.
I don't have the finger
But
movements.
you were just overwhelming yourself.
You ain't got good hand-eye coordination.
Not really. I can catch things, but I can't move my fingers quick like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was just like she was getting real.
But
worked up,
also,
and she was talking not quite like to an audience like you said, but
I was talking to you.
Ethereally, I guess, but it was just like out into the open.
To you, this is so hard.
We Han made the comment that she says stuff under her breath to herself sometimes. I caught her the other day. I'd come over. We were upstairs. You were still downstairs, right? You had walked up and came into this room that we podcast in, right? And I swear I heard her say, "God, you look good tonight."
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that.
Yeah. She probably during LA Noir is the most that I've heard her.
That's
like,
when she said it.
Mumble to herself.
God, he looked good tonight.
God, this.
No, but also I've been on very heavy prescription medications this week that have me literally out of my mind. I tried to talk to you. I tried to talk to you yesterday because I can't drive. My medication.
But that's not a problem.
I know, but part of my medication is I can't get behind the wheel of a moving vehicle, and so you're taking me to work. And so before we left the house, I was trying to ask you something before we left. Like if I needed to grab something before we left the house. And I got halfway through my question, forgot the rest of what I was saying, tried to repeat the first half of the question, and then forgot the entire question in its totalitarianism.
That's not the right word.
My mind... I'm so out of my mind this week that I don't know what's going on or what's happening.
I was watching. She was like falling asleep earlier, and like not a couple days ago, and I was watching a YouTube video, and I knew she was falling asleep, and it was like early enough that like she didn't need to go to sleep because like she needed.
It was like 8:00.
I don't even think it was that late. I think it was like 6:30.
But I had taken my medication.
And I was watching like a YouTube thing, and I was like, "You're not staying awake." Like she's like, "No, I'm awake. I'm listening. I heard everything." And so I was like, "Okay, what was that last video, that the YouTube video that I watched? Like, what was it about?" And I honestly don't even remember what her answer was, but it couldn't be further from. I watched like a complete like 6-minute video of a comedian talking about doing drugs and getting a bad tattoo. And she's like, you were, there was a video about...
I thought it was about basketball.
Yeah. She was like, you were watching a basketball video. And I was like, no. I was like, not even close. And, she's living in a higher plane of existence right now.
Well, we've established you kind of live... Your mind's in a different planet most times.
Well, I'm on cloud 9 this week. So...
I'm waiting on somebody to get to cloud 10.
Okay. Let's get into the superlative.
That was a joke. Sorry, Zach. We have cut you off a lot. Yeah, she did that right. You notice I turn away, right? And she
has no mic etiquette. she like gets like cough drops. She's like, let me put the wrapper like right up here. Let me.
And sometimes Zach will get you riled up, and you've screamed on here a couple of times in the last few weeks.
I think I yelled
and
last
you do
week.
You just like no, you don't move
right into it.
Yeah,
it's just turn away, just like this.
Yeah, they'll get it.
Right.
Every once in a while, like the program we used to record with, like the background of our audio tracks are red, and then the actual like data is white, and it shows like how much you spike and all that stuff. And it's usually like up and down. It never fills up a thing. And every once in a while, when Hannah yells, it'll just be like a solid block of white on there. And so sorry for any headphone listeners.
Yeah.
The people don't realize how loud I actually am. Like I don't need a microphone. I'm loud.
You
Just
have to have
general.
a microphone to record
No,
a podcast.
I'm saying in general. Like
She's
when I'm
so loud they'll hear it down the road.
No, not on the podcast, but just like
Well,
in
yeah, you don't
in
carry
life.
a mic around in everyday
No,
life.
but like when I teach, they want me to use a microphone, but half the time I don't because I'm like, I'm so loud. You guys don't.
Y'all, I don't need it.
You guys don't need me to use a microphone. I'm that loud.
I just want to live in a world where she in her
carries
mind
the microphone
with that, but also she's like, you know what? If I talk loud enough, everyone who wants to listen to the podcast, they'll hear it. They'll just hear it. You know, it doesn't matter where they're at. Alaska.
Someone walks in the store. Hi, how are you today? Brings the microphone up to your face.
She's like those like crappy like
She walks into the house.
TikTokers.
Honey, I'm home.
No.
Superlatives for this week. Who smashed some heads?
Bettina. Because nobody thought she could do it. And she was the one that used her little maths brain. She said she's good at the maths.
Yeah, but you just said she had a little brain.
She used her little maths brain to come up with a new strategy to get them to not only catch up in that elimination, but to surpass Amber B and Jeremiah. And she proved her worth.
That kind of sounds degrading, Han. Her maths brain. Maths.
Well, that's like a European thing. They do say that.
They call it the maths.
I have told so many jokes tonight that have not landed.
That have not landed. You've told so many jokes tonight that have not landed.
Yeah, all right. You know what? Let's give it to. I want to give it to Kyle because shut up, Corey.
That's fine. You know what? I'm gonna give it. Only because I don't think I'm going to ever be able to give it to her again. It's just give it to Bettina. Like, I don't know if we're going to get another chance to give her that accolade. Mm-hmm. So, because you already heard CT. He's like, if she picks me, he's like, that's going to be short-lived. So, who got their head smashed?
The whole house when TJ just left in vagueness.
Wow, that's easy. Han.
Well, yeah, it left the whole house in a tizzy, and we saw a preview for the next episode where they're even in an even bigger tizzy because they still don't know what's going on.
I'm going to give it to Nelson because Logan worked him in the daily.
Well, then I'll give it to Ed because Nelson suplexed him because of what Logan said. So, yeah, there we go. Oh, you know what? And also, just to piggyback onto your Nelson one, he is this close to breaking that daily streak.
And then
that
didn't.
Close.
Yeah.
He didn't do it.
It's got to be the longest streak in the show's history.
Yeah.
So, all right, pop culture thing of the week.
Pete Davidson. I love Pete Davidson. Love his sense of humor. He's a super cutie. Also,
y'all are weird. I'm just going to say, y'all are weird for that. I don't know how y'all think. Look, I'm not into guys, but I can spot a good-looking guy quicker than any of them, okay? I don't know what y'all see when y'all look at this guy and think, ugh.
He's not. It's just
is that not weird?
There's
Zach?
just something about
he
him.
looks like
He looks like a rat.
he looks like
if a mouse turned into a human, that's Pete Davidson.
to me he looks
He's
like
got good teeth.
Oh, well, that's fitting for a rat. Am I right? They got them buck teeth right there.
No, those are not good teeth. He's got good teeth.
he is like if you took like a second, like an overnight like gas station worker and like made him anemic and then got a lot of like prison tattoos. Like that's basically Pete Davidson. Yeah,
it's so perfect for him. But no, he's got. I think
he's funny, but
think
like
he's
I
got
don't.
the
I never would be
perfect-
like, man.
Yeah, this is not character assassination
no.
here. This is just...
a lot of it.
I'm gonna cancel him.
A lot of it is his sense of humor, which I think is one of the most perfect types of senses of humor because he's like, it's self-degrading. Like when he makes jokes, he's making jokes about himself, and I love it.
He does do that, especially on like when he's on Weekend Update and stuff.
I love people that can make fun of themselves because I do it all the time.
It's hot. Like,
I just don't. I just like that's one that like I don't get as far as like
I don't get that one.
I love Pete Davidson.
That okay.
He landed Ariana Grande. So
I think she's weird looking.
You know what? I think she's attractive.
Yeah, but like also it's like it's weird at the same time, and that may be because she looks like she's 12. But
she's got baby face.
It's you.
Is it me?
Yeah.
I just watched a movie this last weekend. I like horror movies. You don't like that?
No.
So, I like horror movies. This movie was released recently. It was marketed as like just a general horror movie or like haunted house stuff or whatever, right? Not at all. This is one of the most like Malignant. That's the movie. Malignant. It's on HBO Max. It's only up until the 10th of this month.
I know on HBO like yesterday it said it's got like 2 or 3 days left.
Yeah. It's not even a horror movie. It's so unique. I've never seen anything done like it. It's like even like music choices. It's like they mixed The Matrix with like some sort of like sci-fi kind of stuff.
I'd say The Matrix is pretty sci-fi.
Yeah,
it's like they mix sci-fi and sci-fi.
As far as like the way like action scene, like there's action scenes in this movie.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to watch it. I know it's James Wan who directed Aquaman.
Really?
But I know people that I have watched it. It's either people are like, "Oh, this is great," or they're like, "This is awful." There's no in between.
But I would argue that people are saying it's awful because it's not what they expected.
That may be the case
because it's not.
But I've seen people that like I know that have watched it and like just the general online reviews, and it's like either people love it and they really get it, or there's like this is terrible
because they didn't get it.
I loved it because the marketing for it was so different. Because if you market it for what it is, well then when you figure out what's going on, it just doesn't land. When you're watching it and you see this stuff happen, it's like, oh my God, this is crazy. I love those, even if it's not a horror movie like that. Like, as you're watching it, it just so...
takes a turn.
It takes a turn. And you're just like, oh man. And it's so bizarre.
So are you a fan of M. Night Shyamalan movies?
Oh, dude, I went and watched Old. That's one of the worst movies
Yeah,
I've
I was like,
ever
that
seen.
movie was supposed to be terrible.
Holy moly.
I'm gonna pick. I haven't read it yet because it's not out. It comes out actually in I think it's a month from now. But it's a comic from a guy that I like. It's on Image Comics, which I like Image or whatever. But it's called "What's the Furthest Place from Here," and they're pitching it as The Breakfast Club meets The Walking Dead, and also it's coming with a 7-inch like vinyl release that has a song from the lead singer of Jawbreaker or Jets to Brazil, and then on the other side is the lead singer of Joyce Manor, which are both, all three bands that I like. So I've just not seen comics that are doing like a vinyl release as well along with it. And so it's called What's the Furthest Place from Here? And again, I don't know for sure about it. The only other thing I could even maybe recommend, which is another thing that I haven't watched yet, but I was on YouTube and I got a recommendation. It's like, hey, you should watch this movie. And I was like, what is it? And I was like, it's like Kevin James and then like a girl with like blood all over her face. And the movie's just called Becky. And I was like, what is this? And so I looked it up. It came out last year.
We watched the trailer for it the other day.
Yeah, it's basically Kevin James is a neo-Nazi that escapes from prison and does a home invasion of Joel McHale from like Community in the Soup. And he like keeps like traps him in. They're looking for some key, and his daughter has it, and she's not in the house when like the home invasion happens. And so it's like, what if Home Alone was like an 18-year-old girl and she just like destroyed these people? And it's Kevin James as like a Nazi and like dead serious. It's not funny.
It's not funny.
Joel McHale's not funny in it apparently, and it's just a revenge home invasion movie. And that's just not a thing that I ever expected Kevin James and Joel McHale to be in.
Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Pretty wild.
Yeah. Took a turn.
It's called Becky. I haven't watched it, but it looks like it's really good.
On Rotten
On Rotten Tomatoes, it's at like 80%. or something like that. So it's apparently good.
Becky.
Yeah, Becky. Yeah. Let's get into all of the I was gonna say challenge stuff, but I meant fantasy stuff.
Yeah, let me type in this password on my laptop here.
Let's announce it to everyone that's listening.
Okay, are we ready, Zach?
That's your password?
Yeah. Are we?
Okay, are we ready, Zach?
We get a little walk-in dance.
You already messed it up.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
Hey, this segment is brought to you by the original Skechers.
Go running.
Hey, so we get a little walk-in dance from Jeremiah and Priscilla. That is 5 points. 5.
That's what I wrote.
Priscilla with the quote, I effed up their game. I'm going to give her another 15 on that one.
Jeez.
Yeah. We're going to give negative 10 to Nelson because, quote, who is he going to cuddle tonight?
Yeah, I guess that's because Burner's gone now. But.
Yeah.
Tori is throwing bones and wrenches. 5 points. Tori.
Yeah, I was like, where's she at?
We get Emmanuel with the leg behind his head. 5 points.
Talking about when he was like balancing cereal.
Yeah,
on
hold
his
on a
head?
second. A bowl on his head. And he's eating out of the bowl. 5 points for
I got it.
That's like extreme yoga.
Nelson just said spies, lies, and allies. Negative 5. Ed's an idea bouncer. 5 points. But he gets no feedback. Negative 5. I can relate to the talking to yourself, though. 5 points.
To you? Like yourself? You get 5 points?
Ed gets 5. And when I say talking to yourself, I don't just like outright just like talk to myself.
You literally
He's
said...
really worried that people are
I
think that he's
You
schizophrenic.
literally said
I'm not crazy.
He said earlier, like, you referred to plural amount of people listening. Not just yourself. You said, what are you guys thinking here?
That's what schizophrenic people do.
Let's see.
Jake, do you need to see a doctor?
We get Jeremiah and Amber love sessions, 10 points. Amber.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't clicking for some reason.
Tori and Jeremiah came to play with balls, 5 points.
I don't even remember them saying that.
They did. We get an Ed game explanation. That's negative 15. Ed and Ashley work smarter, not harder. 5 points. Casey and Emmanuel are fast as HE double hockey sticks. 5 points.
Did they say it that way? Or you just do it?
But
You
this
do
is
it?
a children's
Yeah,
podcast.
I just thought it would be funny if they actually said that and I missed it somehow.
Ed gets slammed, negative 5. Let's see. Josh gets slammed, negative 5. At one point, somebody called Josh a pig roast, negative 5.
I think it was CT.
Corey tackled somebody, and buddy, it looked good. He needs to be in the NFL. 5 points.
Was that all it takes?
Yeah. Wrap up, boys. Josh started getting choked out, negative 5. But he was giving everybody a booty showing. 10 points.
5 for each cheek.
That's right. Let's see. We're going to give 10 points to Ed and Ashley, Emmanuel and Casey.
Okay, you're going to have to...
Just tell me when you're
ready,
ready, bud.
I know what you're doing, but yeah, it's just going to... Emmanuel, Casey. Okay.
Nani and Logan. Devin and Amber. Nelson and Big T. They all advanced.
Yeah, Devin Amber, and then I got to find...
Nelson and Big T. I've got Big T.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where she was.
Corey made a no final burn to Josh.
He
Negative
did.
10 to Josh.
He did.
Let's see. At some point in this, Nelson gave a reasonable confessional. 5 points. Let's see. That patty cake quote that we saw in all the trailers for this season, Corey finally said it here. 5 points.
I honestly don't even know what you're talking about.
That's fine. Amber made a straddling joke about
Yeah.
Casey and Nany. 10 points. So Amber got slammed, but then I topped out, or was it Casey? Because Amber just basically ended up sitting on her.
Yeah, I think Casey was trying to, and then Amber just
sat on her and didn't get up.
I gave -5 to Casey.
Because she got sat on.
She got sat on.
And then she didn't get back up.
10 points to Nany and Logan.
Yeah, I gotta find him.
Nelson and Big T. And Ed and Ashley. They all advanced to the final round. Ashley.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Big T beating expectations here. 10 points.
The bar's so high.
We get an Ed and Nelson stare down. 5 points.
For both?
Yes.
Assuming.
Let's see. I gave -10 to Ed, Nelson, and Logan because I don't think any of them were real sure what was happening here. And then Ed gets slammed, -5. Ashley's sad, -5. Nany and Logan win, that's 25. Another 15 to them for being the agency, and another 15 to them for being safe.
Okay.
-10 to panicky Ashley. This girl starts panicking. She's breaking down here.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna give 5 points to Amanda because she agrees. The quote is, Ashley is being paranoid for no effing reason. 5 points to Amanda. But we're gonna give 5 points to Josh for being just a loving, supportive teammate. Nany said there's bigger fish to fry. -5.
Did she really say frish?
Yeah, I rewound.
I didn't catch that.
Ed doesn't really want to go into elimination. We've seen so many rookies want to go in. We're going to give him 5 for just good thinking.
Well, he's already gone in once, right?
He has?
Yeah.
15 to Ashley and Amber for being in the Champs Club. 10 points to Amber and Jeremiah for the smooching. 10 points to Ashley. She's a little politician, baby. Or, I'm sorry, she's a politician, baby.
I just say little.
Yeah. Logan thinks you're a POS if you don't keep your promises. 15 points.
Yeah.
I think that's good logic.
He's a man of his word.
Yeah. -1 million to Hunter for having money stolen from him.
Well, I'm not even going to write that down.
Literally -1 million.
Yeah, everyone listening, if you have Hunter on any of your fantasy teams for some reason, he gets -1 million.
We get a Corey and Ashley spat, 10 points. Ashley wears snake earrings, 5 points.
Snakes can be shaped like a 5.
That's right.
They can.
Or a 1.
Devin knows Priscilla line. -5 to Priscilla.
That's what I just did.
Let's see. We're going to give 15 to Amanda because Ashley sent her a $500 gift card.
Okay.
Yeah?
You can do a lot with $500.
Nobody trusts Corey. -5. -25 to Corey and Bettina because they are compromised. I want to give 15 points to Kyle for the shut up, Corey. That was my favorite thing.
He said it at least twice.
3 times.
10 points to Corey and Kyle for the spat. And then Kyle had the quote, "Everyone is a snake," 5 points. I think this is the most points Kyle's had all season.
Probably.
He didn't get any last week. He didn't get any the week before. He got 10 the week before that. He got 20 the week before that.
I am shocked at how
he had a lot. He had a lot
season.
here, but he had a lot negative. So I think it probably ended out to be less. He had nothing the week before that. He had nothing the week before that.
He's done nothing.
He got 20 there. He got 20 in week 1, and then like 20 in another week, and that's it. He has 30 tonight.
That's crazy
already. That is kind of crazy.
That's
our number 1 pick.
Yep.
Corey talks about his family. We've heard it all before. -5. Negative 25 to Jeremiah and Amber. They get voted in. But you know what? 5 points to Amber because she's being a good sport about it. We got elimination kisses. 10 points to Jeremiah and Amber. She's not a puzzle queen, but she's good at math. 5 points to Bettina. Negative 5 to the four of them because, boy, couldn't nobody stay on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't put that thing on it, hand.
They sure didn't.
Hold on a second. Negative 5. And then who was it? Corey.
I'm going to give 10 points to Devin for this way of thinking. He just simply advised for Jeremiah and Amber to try looking deep into each other's eyes.
Mm.
Let's see. Amber supposedly wears the pants in their relationship. 5 points to Amber. Let's see.
Yeah, which, by the way, when Amanda said that, I was like, well, she definitely does in her and Bessie's relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I'd say Amanda is way more, like, assertive and demanding than Amber ever would be.
Nelson's worried. Negative 5.
Just in general?
Yeah.
Oh, for Corey, I guess.
Corey's having things fall on his head. Negative 5. He then states that he's too old for this. Negative 5.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
That's a Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon quote. Danny Glover.
Amber with the she had sixpence none the richer on her brain. Said kiss me. 5 points.
Nice. Good band.
They then kissed mid-elimination. That's 10 points.
I think that's a first.
Yeah. You know what? Make that 15. If that's a first of all time, that's a big moment.
For both?
Yeah.
When else would that have ever happened?
Oh, that's a good
I don't
question.
know.
Yeah, like you don't typically have like couples that go into eliminations together.
Bettina's arms are on fire. Negative 5. But she is a dancer. 5 points. Corey and Bettina win. 75 points. Amber and Jeremiah lose. Negative 50. I got to deduct 10 from Nani on this one by simply saying Bettina's impressing a lot of people. I just don't think that's so.
I mean, she won. Good
fine.
for her.
Fine, that's fine. I don't think anybody's walking away like, boy, watch out, y'all.
Big T might.
Yeah. No, you're right about that, Zach.
Can I have Hunter's million points?
Yeah. 5 points for Corey's Puzzle King yell. We're going to give them negative 5 because it turns out they're stuck together.
Well.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Okay. Where
Corey?
Bettina? No, I already did Corey. I had to find Bettina.
Corey ain't happy about it. Negative 5. Tori's perplexed. Negative 5.
Did she say that, or did you just assign that feeling to her?
Did y'all not watch her? She's just out of her mind.
But I'm saying, like, she didn't say, guys, I'm perplexed.
No.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah. And she has no partner. Negative 5. And Ed doesn't know a thing. Negative 5.
And doesn't have a partner.
Give him another negative 5. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are your fantasy points of the week.
CT, no points this week. Or Emmy, even.
We are going to do some deductive math, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Just like that, in a flash. Snap of the fingers, we're back. Again, one last time, quick shout-out to Skechers.
Go running.
Go running.
I'm just going to run through the scores real quick.
Are you going to hurry them out?
Yeah. Low score. Probably Jake's lowest score of the season for sure.
Man, I feel the heat now.
CT was 0. Amanda got 20. Ed got negative 5 after all the scoring was done.
Wow.
That last me pointing out that he didn't have a partner put him into negative. Berna eliminated last week. Jeremiah, negative 25 overall. Josh, negative 10. Emmanuel got you 30, though.
Oh, hey, bud.
Emmy, 0. Huey eliminated. Big T got you 30. And then Esther was eliminated. Fessy disqualified. Nelson ended up 0 overall. Ashley got 50. Kel's eliminated. Tommy, medical DQ. Nani ended up with 60. Probably her biggest scoring of the season, I would assume. Gabba eliminated. Michaela eliminated. Michelle eliminated. Casey got me 10. Bettina got me 45 because you had a lot of negatives on the front end. But Amber B ended up getting me 15, even losing 50 right here. So I got 180 for the week. Jake, you only got 40 for the week. I don't think I said that.
You did not say that.
So yeah, you only ended up with 40 total points for the week. I ended up with 180. Going to Hannah's team, Kyle got 30, Devin got 20, Corey got 55, Anissa medically DQ'd. Logan definitely, I'd say, his biggest week. He got 80.
Hey.
Tori got 10. Renan, Tasha, and Tracy have all been eliminated. Priscilla got 15, and then Corey 12 was eliminated. So she ended up with 210 for the week. She was the highest scoring for the week.
How about that, Hannah?
And so
I'm still not in the running.
So Hannah is currently in third place at 805. I'm in second at 900, and then Jake is still in the lead at 1740.
But y'all made up some ground.
Not really.
We did, but like you still, even though with all that, you still came out.
You're still 1,000 points ahead of me.
Almost, yeah. It's gonna be interesting that once the things break up into singles, if that's what happens, and then if the final weighs heavily.
How many do we each have on our teams left?
So let me go down here. After tonight, Jake, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 1, 2, 3.
I have 8,
4.
don't I?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, I was counting Jeremiah because you didn't have eliminated out there.
Yeah, because it just happened.
Yeah. Okay.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And then Hannah's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have the least. It's 5, 6, 7 going forward. I only have 5 because Bettina and Amber B, I was going to lose one of them tonight. Yeah. And so it's it's closer now for sure, but there was such a long run where Hannah and I had 4 people eliminated and you didn't have any. Now it's coming back to kind of catch up with you just because like we're running out of people to throw into eliminations.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just you had a long run. And then like again like this week, CT and Emmy got 0. Like combined.
And Emmy in particular has been a high scorer.
Yeah. And so, it's going to be interesting what the finals are because like even though I lost my number 1 pick, like honestly, Nelson, Ashley, maybe Nani and Casey all have a decent chance to win a final. CT does for you. The rest of your team, I don't know who I would say has a good shot to win a final. Just because I don't know if they've all been to them yet. Whoops.
Hello.
Like Amanda, maybe, but she's not. I don't think she's ever been to a final, has she?
I don't believe.
Ed doesn't know what he's doing yet. Josh, good luck. Emmanuel doesn't know what he's doing. Amy doesn't know what she's doing, and Big T's not going to do.
She ain't going to final.
So, like, your best bet's CT. I could realistically. Ashley obviously is 1, 2. Nani was just in the last one. Nelson maybe, because he's been to finals at least, and then Casey's was in the last final. Kyle on Hannah's team, Kyle and Devin and Corey all got an okay chance. Tori, Logan probably doesn't. Priscilla probably doesn't. So honestly, as far as finals go, Jake, you've probably got the biggest odds maker because CT just won and he could win again.
Right.
But like the rest of your team is kind of a question mark, and then Hannah and I've got probably more people who might have a chance, but we don't even know what the format's going to be going forward. But I'd say you've got the odds-on favorite just because he won last season and he hasn't done anything this season to think that he wouldn't be a favorite to be in the final and to win the final. Because Fessy is not here, and then Hannah's pick Kyle just hasn't done much as the number 1 pick. So, you got anything else you want to plug? You got plugs coming up? You got shows you're going to be doing?
No, thinking about starting a comedy sketch.
Just one sketch. I'm gonna make a sketch and that's it.
All my good jokes compiled from the night. Best joke of all: Have a good night, everyone.